tough one on Saturday, obviously, and I know Coach Allen's talked a lot about it, but just continue to be proud of our guys who are coming out of the locker room and being ready to go, and weathering storms that come early throughout the middle of the game, and continue to fight to the very end. So obviously things we can improve on, things that we can get better at, but I just think we played a better football game than what we played the week before, and that's the whole thing, is to continue to get better and improve each and every week.
The offense has been good all year long, but now that you only have one quarterback to worry about, knowing that, how does that help you in planning your scheme coming up game by game?
Yeah, I think, you go into most of the games, I've still gone in with the preparation it being for the one quarterback, and then you adjust when you get dinged up. And so I don't think, as far as game planning for, you don't game plan for someone to get hurt, so, but there were some games where I know we were kind of in between and not sure. I think that's maybe what you're getting at. Okay, so sorry about that. I kind of thought about it after you said it, but when you don't know who you're going to be playing, and so yeah, you're right. You do game plan, around Payton and his skills, and but it still obviously goes around who our people are around him, and also the defense that we're seeing and what they're giving up, and I think we were able to do what we wanted to do, and you just got to do it more. So pleased with the way Payton played with a lot of the guys, and for the most part we didn't hurt ourselves too much, but when we did, those are the ones that you look back on, and the what ifs start popping up.
Coach Payton was saying earlier that one of the things he's learned a lot and improved on this year is his ability to go from read 1, 2 to 3 and so on. But he's also mentioned, too, how important it's been for the receivers to kind of get that way, too, that everybody runs all their routes completely all the time.
Yeah.
How much has that improved, though, from September till now? Because it seems like it's still pretty good.
Yeah, I think he's right. And I think there's just an overall understanding from the receivers' end of what the quarterback's doing. And that's a huge tribute to, not just Coach Hurd with the receivers, but, Coach Sheridan with the tight ends, and even with Coach Hart and the running backs, knowing where they're at in the protection and the check releases and all that, and what the timing is. And we're just constantly preaching that and talking that with our guys, and it's not just what, but why and how. And so when our guys get in those moments where there's a lot of things going on and something might be a little bit different, they can understand what our offense is and what the objective is of that play, what the timing is, where the quarterback's eyes are starting, what his read is. And so, I'm proud of the way our guys understand things. And, we threw some guys into the fire on Saturday when Wap went down. I think it's easy to see, okay, David Ellis goes in for Wap, but there's more to it than that, because we put David Ellis, his involvement has grown a lot. He's in for running backs because he's got some running back background, and we feel very comfortable handing the football off to him. And when that happens and you have those packages, someone else has got to take Wap's spot. And so, there were other guys. Freifogel was one of them. He had to understand multiple spots in the offense, and when we wanted to use those packages where Ellis wasn't Wap's backup, Fry had to, for the most part on Saturday, adjust, and then that causes other guys to adjust because someone's coming in for Fry, and maybe the rhythm was lost maybe for a series or two there in the second quarter, but I thought our guys just kept working through it. And I know on the sideline there was a lot of conversation with Coach Hurd and the receivers on, okay, this is what we got, these are our people now, this is how we got to adjust, and the guys just kept fighting and kept playing.
Coach, Michigan's played Payton Ramsey pretty well in the 2 games that he's played against them. Is that something where you go back and look at the way that they played him, or is it something where you focus on what they've done this season?
Yeah, you always flash through the games from previous years, just for me especially, to get a background knowledge of kind of how this has played out, and to understand, the matchup and how they play certain people. But, I think this is still about our team this year, and, Payton, us doing what we do. And so, I've flipped through those games and understand, what's taking place. But, we'll go and figure out how to attack their defense and lay out the plan of how what we're going to try to accomplish on Saturday.
You've been asked about this in previous weeks, but from what you've seen from Payton Ramsey when you were coming here and watching him on film from previous seasons to where he is now, how have you seen him develop and embrace your offensive system?
Yeah, he's been all in since we got here, and he seems confident in everything. Ever since even the end of spring ball, and there was all of a sudden when you hit fall camp, just another level that I think of confidence that he had too, and you just see the protection checks and how comfortable he is with that, and they did a lot of looking to the sideline on their defense when we were checking things, and so Payton sometimes was checking a check that I made, and so he just had full control of it, and I felt very comfortable all week long telling him, when you see something, it's all yours, and giving him full control to get us, and just knowing the situations, and he's able to do that because he's played so many snaps as a quarterback, at this level.
Are there things about him that, you've been with him for almost a year now, and I'm sure he's grown in different ways within the offense, but are there things about his performances this season specifically that have surprised you, that maybe you thought he found a different level, or, just sort of a different level of performance than maybe what you thought he was capable of?
Because we've had, multiple meetings of coaches, and I understand the level of preparation he puts in, it doesn't surprise me after day one or day two or, first couple practices of spring ball to see what his ability was, Tuesday, here's a great example. Tuesday, we walk in, so a week ago tomorrow, we walk in and we're talking about certain looks, and he jumps right to the question. He goes, "Hey, against this front with this blitz, how you want me to check the protection?" And this is way down the line. This is like third down, the next day's install, and as far as our progression in teaching, and he'd already watched pretty much every game he possibly could have, gone through the blitz cut-ups. He's gone through all of it. He's just so prepared. He wants it so bad, and he's got strengths that he knows, how to utilize, and he just knows his people. He knows his people, and as long as he knows the offense and what he's going to face, he's going to get the ball where it needs to go, and that's what he did. It's 31 for 41, and a couple drops and maybe 2 or 3 throwaways. It doesn't leave you much room for error, and there's probably one throw, that was even a little bit, worrisome on a screen and go, and he knew it right when he threw it. Got on the headphones, and there was no question, But there's a lot of bullets flying, a lot of things happening fast, and he sees it happen. I think again, because of the snaps he's played at this level, things happen a little slower for him than they do most guys when they step on the field.
You talked about David moving around a bunch in different positions. How has he been able to absorb all the different pieces of the offense, and how far along has he
Yeah,
come?
it's been really cool seeing David Ellis and just the transformation that he has had over the year. We were really hard on him through the first fall camp and spring ball, fall camp and the early parts of the season, because we knew we'd need him. You saw what type of special athlete he was, and he's developed into a receiver. He was just a guy that could run fast at one point and catch the ball, and now he's turning into a complete receiver. Again, a lot of running back background. You can see him when he carries the ball in practices and so forth. He looks very natural doing that. And so Coach Hurd's done an awesome job of just every day staying on him. And, that's got where it's got to the point where we're trying to get him on the field more and more. And, that screen pass he hit, there's just so many details. I showed 2 clips today to the offense, 2 clips. And it was about the attention to detail. And one was that screen pass that he took for a big play in the fourth quarter, and how earlier in the week we talked about some details on that play, and he ran it, and it wasn't quite perfect, but you could tell he was thinking about it. And by the end of the week, the details of the footwork on that play were perfect, and he did it absolutely perfect on Saturday. And if he didn't do it perfect, that play was probably going to go for 0 yards. And he executed it, and he understood. And then later in the game, there was a play where his alignment was just a little bit off. I mean, we're talking 1 to 2 yards, you know, and those are the things we're able to talk about right now within our offense because the guys understand the big picture and the details are what important. Now, we end up scoring on the drive, and that play didn't necessarily have an effect, but, you know, those are the things. Hey, here's a one that's really great attention to detail, and here's one that we got to get better at, you know, and those were places where WAP's been. David hasn't gotten a lot of reps, and, you know, we walked through those today and cleaned them up, and I'm very confident that, you know, David, as well as many other guys, you know, pay attention to things and make it even better next Saturday.
Yeah, I know Don Brown is one of the brighter defensive minds in the Big Ten. Just a challenge of facing them and what you've seen from them schematically and how they're playing defense now.
Yeah.
As compared to the early in the season.
Yeah, they're really good on defense, and they're good personnel. And obviously, like you said, Coach Brown, with what he's doing with his group, you know, he's having a lot of fun with them. You can tell he's letting them play, but. The thing that's really impressive, I think, is how disciplined they are with what they do. And they come at you a lot of different ways. They're going to keep you off balanced. You know, up front, there's just a lot of things happening. And, you know, it's really impressive. You know, you can tell that there's a lot of experience that's going into the plans that he puts out there on the football field each and every Saturday. So certainly a challenge on our end to schematically be sound and put our guys in good positions and be able to attack the things that are, you know, they're attacking in the way they play. So, but, you know, we take it one day at a time. We take it one rep at a time. And you know, our slogan, our thing that we talk about in the offense is we're going to respect the people we're going to play each and every week, but we're also going to believe in who we are. And, you know, it's always, you know, we knew that against Penn State, that we were facing a very good defense up front, you know, some really good football players that we're going to cause some problems, and we had to react fast in a lot of ways, and that's going to be the same case this week, and probably another level as far as the discipline within what they do. So we certainly know we got our hands full, but we're also going to go over to work tomorrow, and I know our guys are going to bring some energy. We're going to be believing in who we are and trust the process that Tuesday we're going to take care of business, Wednesday we're going to do the situational work, Thursday as well, clean it up on Friday, and the work's never done until kickoff on Saturday. So I'm excited about another challenge.